What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Obsession Podcast. I am Mike Stadler.
And I am Carl Bucky.
Carl.
Yeah, buddy. I am outstanding.
It's great to hear.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Good.
What are we going to talk about today?
Well, let's talk about things to do and not to do during the pre-rut. Last week of October, what we're basically talking last week and a half, last week of October, we will, at that particular time, be on our vacation.
Correct, sir.
Our favorite time of year. Every year you guys hear us talk about it all the time, from October 20th through our favorite day.
Halloween, October 31st, that's for sure.
Baby. That's when the monsters come out.
That's right. We'll be on vacation until like the 6th of November, but
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah.
And
after that, if we need be.
If we have to, I'll call in uninterested.
That's
I'm
true.
not afraid to do it.
Uninterested.
Yeah, I'm not interested in coming in.
You know the boss or something?
I do.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'll just call him up.
Yeah.
Call myself. Be like, suck it, I'm not coming in.
There's a fact right there.
Yeah, buddy. Pre-rut.
Pre-rut.
My favorite.
Now, this is the pre-rut. You guys have asked us, what are some of our tactics when we hunt the pre-rut?
Well, we should say what the pre-rut is to us.
The pre-rut to us, the most aggressive time of year.
Aggressive stage of the buck.
Yep. And that's their most movement, I think, during daylight time. And why are they doing that? They're an animal. It's getting to be breeding time. They want all the girls to know, hey, here I am, and I'm ready.
Right.
Are you ready? And so they get stupid. I want to say they're never stupid, just so people know.
They let their guard down.
A little bit. They do things that's
say that.
not normal for them.
Right.
So, what are the best places that we think to hunt? At least areas when we start that time. Because this is the questions that they've asked are: what tactics do we use? What locations do we hunt, and why do we hunt them? Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then, are there obviously morning and evening locations? That type of stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're going to have morning and evening.
Of course we are.
Every time.
Yep.
Is it going to be in the same stand? No. Because, we're going to have stands that are set for our mornings now, where now we're hunting that edge here and there. So now these stands are going to be probably moved in a little tighter. Some of them could even be on the same trails, which most of our stuff is set up for east-west movement on our properties, but we're going to move in a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's one thing that's going to happen in the morning. It's still, both of us hunt more ridges.
Yes.
So we're going to be watching our thermals still. That's not going to change.
Correct.
Obviously, when we're moving in the morning, and watch what our temperatures are going to do. Obviously, our thermals are going to drop later morning. Those are stands we're going to get out of.
Let's get this question answered right away. Mike, are there all-day sits in the same stand?
No.
We both believe there are no such things as an all-day sit in the same stand based off of our last 30 years of hunting.
Yeah, I don't...
There's always a better spot percentage-wise that you can move to from morning to midday to evening. Maybe even 3 locations if you're hunting all day.
Right. When you got to watch, what your wind's doing that day. Is it going to stay steady? Is it going to pick up? Is it switching in the afternoon? Is it... I think a lot of people screw up on that. They get in a stand in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. I got a north wind.
Yeah.
And an hour and a half into that, you got a west wind.
And they don't move.
Yeah, so you're not moving. So you got to look ahead for that. I think where a lot of people fail in that, and we don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
We used to push the limits a lot on that, but I can get in it for a little while, and then it'll just maybe it'll be okay. It's probably not going to be okay, so go sit somewhere else.
Yeah.
Sit somewhere that you're safe for both of those,
Yeah.
Rather than screwing something up.
Right. If you're hunting public land where there's a lot of other hunters and stuff, you can kind of, in my opinion, push the edge a little bit. If you're hunting your own property, a smaller piece of property, the deer that are on that property are the deer you have to hunt. So if you educate them, it's over.
Yeah, it is.
They're going to go. So on a public piece, remember you don't have the ability to know exactly where everybody is. So hunt to your best location and use your percentages there. That's a big one. You know, a lot of you guys ask us about public land hunting. We filmed our TV show Hunting Public Land, and we would push the edges quite a bit and be successful with it.
Right.
A lot of work. And you guys can shoot big deer on public. We want everybody to know that. But we're talking currently right now, what we're referring to as our own personal property here. And, like Mike said, the morning hunts, we're using our thermals for up. Mid-afternoon is a good transition area.
Yeah,
Position. Near bed.
I like to hunt those morning stands too a lot, where I've got a lot of scrapes.
Yeah.
So if you've got a stand that you can overlook some scrapes, it's kind of usually a good spot to be. Not that they're going to touch them every time.
No.
But obviously they're using those, and they are set in territory.
Yeah.
So that can be a factor. I know we both kill deer.
Yeah.
On scrape lines.
Yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit. There is a difference between a scrape line and a rub line, and in my opinion, percentage of which one is higher. I believe that a scrape line percentage chance of shooting a buck is higher than shooting on a rub line.
Oh, I agree.
Because deer will walk through the woods and randomly rub on
Yeah,
trees.
they don't care.
Now, if they're just trying to put places there, a lot of people will tell you the rub line is consistent to where they're going to bed. It shows line of movement back and forth, or line of movement to food. Well, that's partially true. It's not something that I would bet on to the percentage I would on a scrape line.
Yeah, scrape at some point a deer is going to hit it again.
And you're going to get does using them too.
Does are going to use them. It's their way of marking things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, you see, we do a lot of mocks.
Yeah.
So some of those mocks we don't hunt until later.
Yep.
So that's a stand location. We're probably going to be on that mock. All of our mocks are shootable.
Yes.
All your
100%.
mocks better be shootable.
Yeah, never put up a scrape never put up a mock scrape that you're not going to be able to hunt.
So I mean, I think I see it more in the morning of them checking those scrapes. It seems like walking that kind of same pattern. Than at night. I think night they're more just looking.
Yeah, more. Yeah, well,
And I think they're marking more in the morning, in my opinion.
no, I agree. You'll see even our cameras show more morning activity on our mock scrapes. Maybe not so much beginning of year, but this time of year, you guys, those mock scrapes and scrape lines are far more productive in the mornings than they are in the afternoons.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of hunting mock scrapes in the afternoons.
No, we usually don't.
No. I would hunt a mock near a food area because I know that all the does, as they progress to the food, are going to hit that mock. Think of the mocks as a social area for the deer. Any active scrape is a social area for the deer. One in particular spot that we talked about earlier, because of the change on your property this year, you're saying that they're using the lower trail east-west and putting scrapes all along that, and hitting our mocks.
Yep.
And last year we didn't have that.
No. Like, just for instance, the trail from the campsite down the pond.
Yep.
I had camera on that.
Yep.
I didn't get a deer on it.
Nope, I
And
remember.
I shot my deer right below that.
Yeah, 20
But now
yards.
this year they're using that trail back and forth.
Right.
Stand still in the same spot.
Yep.
And now that's a stand that will get in.
Yeah.
Whereas before I'm not getting in that stand.
Right.
But now you can get in that in the morning. You can hunt that in the morning, or you can hunt in the afternoon. That's a better morning spot.
Yeah, 100%.
You could hunt it either. Morning's going to be better, again, because our thermals are going. So you're safe,
And you can get out when
It's
you
an
need
easy
to.
in and it's an easy out,
Yep.
And, those night ones now, in our case, we're going to sit closer on our food, a little tighter to the bed,
Yep.
with everything being right.
Yeah.
Because those bucks are going to come out in those plots.
Yeah. And why are they coming? They're coming for the does.
Yep.
So you guys got to figure this time of year, pre-rut stuff, you want to shoot bucks, you hunt the does. Where are the does feeding at night? Where are they bedding during the day? Transition in between that, if you get does in front of you during an evening hunt on a food plot or near a food plot, that's the best bait you could ever have.
It is.
Because they're going to come and check.
Yep. And our tactics too. I mean, this is when we start to call.
Yeah.
Obviously, and we've talked about this so many times too. Is getting too crazy with the calls. You want to be a little careful of that stuff, and we're not big believers in blind calling.
No.
You can throw a call out here or there, a grunt, a grunt.
A grunt.
And people are sitting there and they're grunting. Rah, 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 rah. I mean, that deer knows where you are. And
if you see a deer and you call to him and he doesn't respond, and you hit it a little louder and you see his ears twitch or move, but he doesn't look at you, you don't have to hit him again. He heard you.
He already knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, and trust me, if he's not looking and coming right now, he's probably going to circle.
Oh, yeah.
And check it out at some point. But the more you do it, the more they pinpoint you.
And if you do it too much, they just realize that you're not a real deer.
Yeah.
Because deer don't go walking through the woods.
Right.
Bad. Now they will when they're chasing a doe, but there's a lot more noise going on at that point too. But I mean, even the other day, you had one of your bigger bucks come by, and he grunted a couple times, and he was looking around. You said he nudged a couple.
Yeah,
does.
he nudged a couple does, and they just took off.
Yeah,
and he knew obviously nothing's going on yet, and he just
off he went.
Off he went down back into the bottom.
Yep. So, and now you guys, when we get to tactics again too. Now towards the end of the month, it's rattling time and decoy time. And decoy setups. Somebody asked me actually the other day, was talking about our decoy setups and how we set up a decoy. And I'll be honest, in the last couple of years, I really haven't used them. Mike's shot more bucks over decoys than I have in the last couple of years. Actually, the last couple of years, we haven't even shot them over decoys. No. But like 4 years, 5 years back, I think you shot 2 or 3 in a row down here.
I shot them over a decoy.
And that also has come down to the deer, the personality of the deer and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a call or a decoy is like anything else. It's going to work sometimes. Sometimes it's not.
Right.
I decoy. I don't decoy in the morning.
No, I've never decoyed in the morning.
So, I mean, if anybody wants to take that tip, I don't do it. I've only decoyed at night sits. And that's when it's worked for me. Mm-hmm. Helped Phil set up his decoy last year, and that's how that worked for him. As a night sit on the buck he killed.
Yep.
God, he's gorgeous. He will be going to the taxidermist soon. I do want to say I want to thank Big Mike and Carl. I've learned so much with them in the last couple of years. They kind of take me under their wing. I've been hunting for my whole life. But just new tactics. You guys got to listen to their podcast, and that they know what the hell they're talking about.
Yep.
I don't know. I just don't feel that it's
beautiful.
It's big in the morning for them. I don't know.
The only deer I've ever seen decoy in the morning, and it really wasn't even the decoy. Now that I think about it, is when JR had that great big white buck come out to him. Mm-hmm. And that buck was just chasing that doe, and that doe came to that decoy.
Right.
Otherwise, that buck wouldn't have come to that decoy.
Right.
So.
Yeah, people. It's a lot of trial and error.
It is.
You put a decoy out there, and I've seen lots of times does come out and they blow at that and they take off. They don't like it.
Yep.
But remember, end of the day, you're not hunting that doe.
Yeah.
You want to see what the buck's going to do react to that decoy.
Yeah.
So you got to sit tight on it. You're not going to get up and move the decoy after you're already set up in a stand. Anything, you just leave it.
And
leave it set up.
Play it through for your hunt, because just because one deer reacts negatively doesn't mean the next one won't react positively. We're fortunate enough in our areas where the bucks are rather aggressive, and you'll see it by mid pre-rut, where a lot of the bucks on my property are broke up, or even on Mike's property because they're fighting.
Yeah, they've been pushing around and dinking around all last month already.
Yeah, so it is decoy time. If you want to carry a decoy in, when you go for your setup, whenever you have your stand set up, you got to make sure a couple things. You want that decoy kind of quartered at you in the stand off of your both side arms, so you can actually have that deer. They always face each other. They never come around and go straight to the backside of the deer or whatever. If an aggressive buck comes in, they're come to attack that decoy. They're going to go head to head. So that gives you that quartering away shot you need. when it comes to wind direction and that, you always want that wind, either across, away from you, from the location where you think the deer are going to be coming from, because they're always going to approach a decoy from basically basically a downwind location if they can, because they're going to try and scent it. If they get around on it and you didn't spray it off or something like that, that's another deal too. But you want to be back far enough. My big thing is 20 yards.
Yep, I always set them up at about 20.
Yep, and
Deer will hang up a lot on a decoy.
They will,
especially big deer.
Yeah.
And you're going to be looking at that 30, 35.
Yeah.
Even I shot the one out here at 40.
Yep.
He hung up. And I did that because of light, losing light.
Yeah, I remember that.
And set them up the way a deer would stand in the wind.
Yeah.
I see people do that all the time. If the wind's coming in, to your face, the deer's not going to have his ass in the wind.
No.
It's not what they would do, so you got to think of that setup. They're going to circle that deer.
If they see that, if they do come in, they're going to be on alert anyway.
Yeah, and then they're going to be, higher alert. And they're already going to be cranked up when they see it usually.
Yeah. Watch for the aggression of the buck at a longer yardage.
Yeah.
Because you'll see him. If you grunt at a buck, he's on the other side of the field. Let's just say he's 120 yards away. Mike and I have seen this before multiple times. You grunt, he looks, all of a sudden he just lays his ears back. You just shut up.
Yeah.
Because he's coming.
Don't do nothing else.
No. He's going to come.
Might take him some time. He's going to bust some stuff up.
Yep.
But he's going to get there.
Yeah. Could take 30 minutes.
Yeah.
We've seen that.
Which is nice.
Yes.
Because it gives you time to calm down.
Get a little relaxed. Yeah.
But yeah, positioning on that kind of stuff is key. Calling on that kind of stuff is key. Like Carl said, you give a grunt, he looks, he sees that deer, that decoy. That's enough.
Yeah.
Let him do what he's going to do, and that, like you said, take a half hour, take an hour.
Good.
He could come, he might disappear. Shut up.
Yeah.
Because if he saw it and he's gone, he's probably coming around behind you somewhere.
Right.
So and I've screwed that up. Where all of a sudden, like, son of, he's gone. All of a sudden, there he is, and he's right behind me.
Yep.
And there, I just blew it.
Yep.
I wasn't watching what I was doing.
Yeah. Or if you don't have a decoy, you call from a long distance, and let's just say you're in an area where you're in pretty tight, meaning there's a lot of back cover on you, a lot of real heavy cover around the outside edges of you. I have a creek bottom in front of my place that's really good for doing this. And you call to a deer 100, 120 yards down the way, and he turns, he starts coming, you don't have to call again.
Let him come.
Because what'll happen, when you call again, he's going to jump into that thick stuff and going to bypass you.
Yeah, once they get to a certain point, they already know where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And if you call again, now they know you're not.
Yep.
And you can call it a decoy.
Yep.
But, we like to call, if we don't have a decoy and we like to call somewhere where they have to expose themselves.
Yep. And don't call directly at the deer.
Yeah, call away from it.
Yeah, turn your head, take your grunt, turn your head away. Either way, it doesn't matter. You have to keep your eye on a grunt, and then slowly turn your head back to take a look and see what the deer's doing. But if you grunt directly at him, they are very, very, very good at sound location. Mm-hmm. And they will either decide to come or not come. Again, it's over. That's a big one. As for rattling, we have blind rattled a couple times.
Yep.
It's been productive. I'll show you guys a little bit of footage here, but you got to be in the right spot for that activity too.
I think with our rattling, which we tell everybody, is we like to be somewhere where deer can't see where you're at.
100%.
Thick. If you're in a stand, Carl knows this. I like to have a couple of stands that are right on the edge of what are you doing there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a stand where you rattle out of.
Yeah.
Because you're in there tight.
Yep.
And they're like, somebody in my bedding?
Yeah.
And they can't see, they're going to expose themselves.
Yeah.
And like when you're rattling, you got to watch yourself. You got to watch your movement. And when you rattle, you got to really watch, really pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah. And you don't have to do long rattling sequences. No. Don't do what you see on some of these videos.
Yeah, beating the hell out of horns or a bag for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Just enough. They're gonna you hear that very clearly.
Yeah.
In a quiet wood setting. Carries.
Yeah.
So short little, maybe a call
Yep.
with that, and then just shut up.
Yep.
And let them come look. And you gotta be patient.
Yeah, I will. If I do any blind rattling, let's just say if I do a blind rattling sequence, you're looking at least a half hour to 45 minutes, if not an hour, before I would even attempt to try it again. And then if I do rattle, let's just say in that location I was telling you guys earlier, down in that creek bottom, if I rattle and all of a sudden I have a deer 200 yards down and comes into that cut edge of the cornfield down there, I will not rattle at him again. If he transfers up like last year, the drop 8, he headed up that ridge, when he couldn't see me, then I grunted at him. And what did he do? He'd come right down that edge, drop right down, and that's where I killed him.
Yep.
Same deal. Mike's killed multiple bucks like that. That's actually where I learned that, is when we had this lease years back, we had this one inside corner that was real productive for rattling, they call it. And Mike killed, I don't know how many bucks in there, 3 or 4 at least, with that type of setup. And that's a good way to do it. But never, the whole idea is to get their interest peaked and then make them come look for you. It's like hide and seek.
Yep.
Except this time, when the seeker gets close, you get to kill it.
Right.
That's kind of how we would go about that. But pre-rut food-wise, currently in southern Wisconsin, we got a lot of acorns. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I got a ton of them again.
Realize this: acorn is like, it's not like successional growth or anything like that. It's like them when they're in the wintertime, when they're eating twigs and stuff like that. It's hard for their bodies to digest, so they need water.
Yep.
Water is a good place to be this time of year if you know your deer are feeding on acorns.
Yep.
But here's the other part. If you got green fields, that's water to deer. So our brassica plots, things like that, if you have brassicas or whatever, not bean fields.
Right.
Corn will be productive because it's high in carbohydrates. They're trying to add, feed or fat to their bodies and trying to get all that going. But, those are food locations that I can think of during the pre-rut.
Right.
But,
yeah, still remember your entries and your exits, all these stands. Even though they're aggressive, you got to be able to get in and out.
Yeah.
So, don't think you can get in something in the morning that you shouldn't be in the morning, or vice versa.
Yeah.
At night.
Remember, you're always trying to keep your deer uneducated of you hunting them. If you educate them, I don't care if it's a pre-rut or not, they'll move.
Yeah.
So, hopefully that answered all the questions.
No, it didn't.
It didn't.
I have questions.
I still have questions.
Every time I'm there.
We appreciate you guys checking us out. We appreciate you guys listening. If you want to listen to the podcast alone, you can check us out at Spotify, Google,
iHeart, RSS.com,
Amazon.
Check out our beautiful, beautiful faces.
Right here on YouTube.
You know you want.
If you want to subscribe to the channel, hit the Reaper in the lower right-hand corner. Also, check us out on our Instagram. Of course, we're real active on Instagram. You guys are going to see us with all the pictures and stuff that's happening, what we're doing in the woods. Check us out right at Rush Outdoors WI, or check us out at The Obsession Podcast Hunting. There'll also be links to all the podcasts on all of that. Or if you guys want to watch it on YouTube, you'll be able to watch it there on Instagram also. We appreciate each and every one of you. Good luck out there.
Good luck.
We'll see you next week.
Later.